Let's go line number 2. Say good morning to the leader of the official opposition, the Liberal Party, Newfoundland and Labrador, Dwight Ball. Good morning, Mr. Ball. You're on the air.
Good morning, Paddy. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
Good. Well, I'm calling this morning from Lanzaclare. We're up here taking part in the combined councils of Labrador, those meetings. But I guess the reason why I'm calling, first of all, before I get into it, we were in Lab West yesterday. But before I do, I want to recognize the great work that was done with the fire at Maplewood there at that seniors facility, and send out a thank you to all the volunteers that took part in that. And certainly our wish is that there's no long-term health impacts on our seniors there as a result of all that, but then to acknowledge the great work that was done there last evening.
And it's important to do exactly that. Dwight, what's on to go up in Lanzaclare?
Lanzaclare, this is the combined councils of Labrador, and of course these are the communities throughout Labrador, and they meet at a selected site once a year. Last year it was in Happy Valley Goose Bay. This year it's in Lanzaclare. So the communities are all gathered here, and of course the focus then, and they're actually joined this year, I should say, by municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador with their board. So it's I told the group last night, you're having some success when part of your conference you're getting another group that comes and wants to participate and add their conference and their meetings around those scheduled dates. So it's great. It's lots of great discussion around things about Labrador and certainly the province in general.
And what are some of their major concerns? Because it must be much more specific than the emotional fallback we hear from others where self-governance is the only way and all those types of things that are pretty 100,000-foot views. What are their actual specific concerns that you're dealing with in these meetings?
Well, today's meetings, we'll hear, there'll be a whole bunch of things that will come out of this, but I mean, one of the things that was certainly around the meet and greet there last night was around the scheduled the rate increase for hydro of 25%, of course, which includes a large part of Labrador. And being in Lab West yesterday, or on Tuesday, and part of Wednesday, of course, was where much of the discussion then was about the closure of the Walwish mines. And we met with a large group of people over there, many of the towns, the companies, the union, the chambers of commerce, some individuals, about, obviously the fallout from the closure of the announcement, the closure of the Walwish mines. And, certainly how do we get from where we are now into, what's anticipated, the opening of a new mine there by Alderon in 2 years.
What do we do? Because there's very little available, in my own personal opinion. If it's not a current standing program from the federal or provincial government, I think we should be wary of getting too far involved in this transition with government money. What do you think?
Yeah, I understand why you say that, Paddy. So that was the reason for going there. What role can government play, or us as politicians play? You're right. They are publicly traded companies here, so they, from time to time, they have to make difficult decisions. In this case here, so it was important that we get on the ground. What I do know, talking to people there, is that we have a young workforce there, 69% as an example, Paddy, which was good news in some ways. There was 69% of the workforce at Walwish Mines who've been working there for less than 10 years. So if you're Alderon and you're going in there to set up business, well, that's an important piece of the puzzle for you. That you have this workplace available. So right now we need to bridge our way into that. So the question would be is what role can a government play? We also know that IOC will hire some of those skilled workers. We also know that there are some local companies that will that will hire some of those skilled workers that are available simply because they have been working with and recruiting for, skilled workers over the last, few years anyway. So some will find work there. Then I think what we had to do is make sure that we have a real good database set up for the people that are left. Some will be left, some will be interested in retraining as they can actually get themselves better prepared for the next opportunities. One thing that came out, Paddy, in every single meeting that we attended, no matter who it was with, was that the need for block training. So if you're a young electrician or a welder or somebody that's going through an apprenticeship program in that area, what they want to do is make sure that training is available there in Lab West. And, they work on equipment up there that, is really not available when they go out to do their block training. You've heard this story before. Uh-huh. So now it's a prime opportunity for government to move in here.
Let's not let this retraining dollar be what it's been way too often in the past an opportunity just to keep the pokey rolling. We've got people retrained to be jewelry repair people and hairdressers, and then go right back to their skilled trade when the job pops up. That can't be what we do this time, right?
No, not at all. It's in preparation for the next opportunity. Yeah. I believe, for instance, Alderon, because what we're looking for here is a way to bridge into, as we know, Alderon with the new site, they'll need about 500 full-time workers. They will need about 850 plus during the construction phase. So if we can find a way now to make sure that some of those construction jobs can be filled by those displaced workers at Walbush Mines, well, that's what we need to be doing, pursuing those options. And if there's a role for government to play there, well, that's what we should be doing. One other thing, too, is the future of Walbush Mines, as it exists. I mean, there's a lot of discussion around that, and I've said it, for a week now, talking about maintaining those assets, making sure that all the requirements to have a successful mine, that they stay in place, because there's a lot of discussion on the ground in Lab West that some other company could come in and this could be a viable mine. So that would mean that the pieces that your power, your equipment, that the ore is in the ground, so that the rail capacity, all those things that they remain intact, so that maybe there will be a new owner of Walbush Mines, or maybe even a restructured Cliffs, that you can make this mine viable once again.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, I think it's going to require a new operator. Seems like Cliffs have turned their attention to Bloom Lake, I think is the name of the project. So maybe they're not the best people, given the fact that they did not pump the money in when required, and maybe played an active financial corporate role in the warm idling, or whatever the appropriate term is, of this mine. I always appreciate your time this morning. Stay in touch, Dwight. Next time we talk, we'll talk some broad stroke politics and the upcoming PC race, so where the Liberals are, how they're going to fit into this upcoming campaign, those types of stuff. And I really appreciate your time as usual.
Absolutely, Patty. Really appreciate it. Before I go, an important woman in my life turns, I will not give her age, but as my mother, I'm not going to get a chance to see her today. Just want to wish her a happy birthday.
What's your mother's name?
Evelyn Ball.
Evelyn Ball, happy birthday from your loyal son and everyone here at VOCM. Thanks for your call, Dwight.
Appreciate it, Patty.
All the best. Bye-bye.